Hi, this is James Gardner, the CineTechGeek, and I'm with Howard Lukk from SMPTE. Now, I wanted to talk to Howard today because this is the centennial of SMPTE, correct?
Yes, absolutely. 100 years old this July or August, depending upon the date you're looking for.
That's right. And Howard recently did a video about the centenary, and in that video, something struck me like a lightning bolt about how we work and the future of our industry. And really that is about, in his video, he made it very clear that many years ago, when we had film was being made all over the world with different formats, different perfs, etc. And something happened. What happened, Howard? You can go over that.
Well, I mean, it's one of the origins, or the myth origins of SMPTE, if you will, and there's debate surrounding that as well too. But the general text of it was that with all these different proprietary formats, the government couldn't actually get different cameras to get together to have one single film format at the time in order to do the work that they wanted to do. It wasn't the only thing that could put pressure on the industry to come together, but was one of the bigger pressures that kind of helped to get the industry to come together. And our father at the time, if you will, actually got a group of individuals from the industry together and said, look, if we don't do something about this, the government may step in and do something about this. You know, and there were other added pressures that came along with that. It wasn't just that one. But the point of the story is that we see this kind of come over and over again, that it took SMPTE really to kind of get people to come together.
That's right.
and bring the industry together to solidify on a standard for 35mm film at the time.
That's
in the
right.
1900s, in 1916 to be precise.
And after that standard was solidified, that's when
the industry really blew up and took off.
Yeah, basically, you could say it bloomed around the world. It created a lot of traction. We could share movies we made in one part of the world with the other part of the world. It was amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
See, this is happening again in my eyes.
It's happening over and over again. You
That's
know, you
right.
look at what happened in the 50s with television. It was the same kind of thing. You have many proprietary formats. SMPTE was another vehicle again at the time that people could come together and standardize on a format to make television systems and equipment compatible with each other. Hence then making it really easy for the industry to grow at extensive rates at that point in time.
And so at this time we have a number of very important standards starting to hit the standards, you know, websites, and I want to go over them very quickly. We've got things like IMF, which is the new type of digital form of tapes, etc., and taking advantage of all the digital innovative capabilities that are now coming along, that we are digital. All that blue sky is starting to get filled up with some ideas, and that's taking advantage of that. We've got high dynamic range, which is part of that, which is because digital allows us to push those new boundaries.
Right, absolutely.
There's standards coming around with that.
High frame rate, like
what
Ang Lee showed on the weekend here.
Yep,
but
amazing.
4K 3D at 120 frames per second, which is just phenomenal looking 3D.
And those sort of things are already encompassed by SMPTE. You know, they've always been forward thinking. And finally, we've got some new codecs with VC5, some other bits and pieces to help. You know, the big thing here is to fight the snowflake workflow, right?
Yep.
And
get an even playing field across the board, so everybody can compete across business, not technology.
Yeah. Well, see, I like to look at it this way, right? The standards. This isn't a bad thing, but the standards allow us to push some of the technical issues out of the way and let the creativity fill that hole.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
And that's where we want to go. We want to make new films with better ideas, etc. We don't want to spend all this money and all this effort on the next workflow. Yeah. We've got ASUS now. ASUS again, Universal. 2 years, they have committed that every movie that they go through will be ASUS made.
ASUS format, yeah, absolutely.
And so you can see here where it's starting to bloom. So what can you do to take advantage of this? And the message for you from me in this video is to join SMPTE. You get access to all the sort of papers that come out, training videos, etc. They do a lot of work to try and help the industry move forward on these standards that they create. And you know, so tell us more about what SMPTE is doing on that.
So absolutely, SMPTE has three basic pillars that they work on. One is education, the other one is standards, and the other one is membership. And by participating with SMPTE, it opens you up to all those three pillars. Standards work gets into the nuts and the bolts and the details of the technology, so we can come to a consensus and agree on the stuff, write it down, and make sure that we have an agreed upon technical interface between the technology that we have. The membership brings you into the fold into a great community of engineering and also production people to a certain extent, where you can share the knowledge, you can share the latest things that are going on, the information that needs to be done. You can't find this stuff in magazines, you can't find it, in books. It's moving way too fast for those kind of things to keep up with it. So SMPTE is a place where you can come to the meetings, learn about these things. And then education, we do a lot of webinars now. We do some video production as well too, to kind of educate people on what's happening with the standards, what's happening in the industry, what's happening with all this technology that's going on. And then conferences like we are here today.
I want to mention today, like, HBA is now part of SMPTE.
Right.
And there's a US, or European HBA coming too?
So HBA is the Hollywood Professional Alliance. The name's changed just a bit over this last year. They've now merged with SMPTE to a certain extent. They're kind of a sister company to us.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. We share resources for the administration of the two groups, but they are two separate groups. One deals mostly with the post-production community, where SMPTE deals with the engineering technology side of the equation.
Yeah, but I like it because there's a lot of it. If you go to those events, your mind will explode with knowledge that you will take away with you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cross-pollination between the two groups, so it's a fantastic thing. So every year, the HPA has had a tech retreat in Palm Springs.
Yes.
A wonderful event, wonderful conference. It's a limited number of people. People run out to the desert, they get away from their phones, they get away from their companies, and they fokus solely on the latest technology that's going on at the time.
So absorb all the information.
Absorb all the information. They meet in the bar afterwards, they go out to dinner, they rekindle all those old friendships, and they cross the latest technology and information that's going on. So what HPA is doing is they're expanding that now to have a European presence.
Fantastic.
And that's the UK Tech Retreat that's coming up in July.
Fantastic.
So we look forward to that being a very, very fantastic expansion of the tech retreat that's happened and been so successful in Palm Springs, now to do that over in the UK side. And open it up to the European community to have a better, not to have to get on a plane, go all the way across and
and also
spend a lot of time.
The Europeans have a lot to contribute to, I find.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I think this is really good because it's encouraging them to be more involved and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, lastly, the message again, we are coming to a new world of standards, directing or steering the industry forward. If you want to know where that industry is going and take advantage of it,
come to SMPTE.
Come to SMPTE.
Absolutely.
That's right. Thank you very much, Howard.
Thank you. Anytime.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. That's James Gardner at NAB 2016. Bye for now.